What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Filip Latocha. Today we are reviewing the Hoka One Mach 4 after 350 plus miles, which doesn't happen a lot for a lot of the shoes in my particular rotation, which I'll kind of give a brief explanation as to why before we, get into it. If you're new to the channel, you'll understand why. So yeah, again, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and then of course if you're a continued watcher and you've already subscribed to the channel, thanks so much. Love you guys a lot. Here's the specs for the shoes. If I need to refer to them for anything, I'll bring them up. But first things first, let's obviously address the big question, which is what does the outsole / the bottoms look like for this shoe right now? Here we go. This is the left foot, as you can see, all the way across. And here is the right foot. Look at that. Isn't that just impressive or what? Yeah, there we go. The shoelace was in the way. But, yep. So, there it is. Let's start with, of course, with the left foot. Well, actually, before we even talk about the left foot, let's break this down. So, this is the first time I've had a shoe on Strava send me an email notification that said, hey, it's time to check up on this pair of shoes, because I said, remind me in 350 plus miles to basically just, assess this shoe. And here we are. And I guess, when you hit that 350, 400 mile mark threshold, normally, with the average shoe, it's about time to retire the shoe. Here is an interesting example where I have some reservations going both ways, whether I can continue with the shoe or if I should retire it. One, I think as you guys have probably seen, in the last couple of days on this channel, I'm basically dealing with some kind of peroneal, not necessarily tendonitis, but some kind of, swelling in a certain spot of my right ankle, and I don't want to blame the Mach 4s for it right away. But seriously though, based on the wear of this shoe and how it's already breaking into the ProFly, which is this red rubber here, or the foam in this case, how it's basically breaking into the foam and we can see it basically coming through like that, I have some concerns that the shoe is no longer able to support the bizarre running form that I have in respect to, I guess, the right foot in this case. So that's one thing I'm thinking of, but also I remember that the last time I made this video when I was at 300 plus miles, I was like, heck yeah, let's do this. The shoe still feels alive and kicking even though the ProFly is completely exposed. But now I see it more and more that this might not be the case. Maybe it was just the honeymoon phase of breaking the 300 plus miles, but now that we are at this 350 threshold, it's not feeling good, at least right now. And that's where, again, my reservations do kick in, because I want to wait until after this peroneal tendonitis, peroneal soreness kind of, weans off and I'm fully recovered from it before I go and start talking trash about this shoe as I might be right now. So again, that's probably the first thing to say is if you have some kind of injury that's related to your running form, you should probably not exasperate it with a shoe that has been broken in this deep and has it's not helping you support whatever kind of, gait you're running with. So in this case, when I'm striking the ground and it has a slight anterior forefoot kind of stomp to the ground, and that's my impact zone right there, it's not helping basically the support tendons in my ankle and my leg to basically get through the workout. So the only way, again, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I had a much more comfortable run today, specifically a 5K barefoot run, than I did running even a quarter mile in the Mach 4s right now. So that kind of tells you the difference as to what's going on and why the shoe is starting to feel a little bit painful. But again, I don't want to blame the shoe entirely just yet for this particular thing, but I don't want to retire it until I know exactly what's going on. And again, you might be probably wondering why I have a pair of old Zoom flies here in the background. This is just another example of if a shoe gives me some reservations as to using it and whatnot, as you can probably tell from the bottom of this shoe or the outsole, not a whole lot of wear on it, but this was a shoe that was pretty popular in 2017, 2018, if I'm not mistaken. I broke my foot in this specific shoe, okay? And this exact model, this exact, everything's pretty the same about it since then. I haven't used it since. And again, it's scary thinking about running in a shoe that you got injured in. And that's how I'm feeling about the Mach 4s right now. I'm happy to basically walk do some weight training workouts in the Mach 4s, but I'm kind of reserved about running in them currently because I don't know if this particular injury was as a result of them. Now, given I've already mentioned that like I've had marathon training, I jumped into the 10K race plan almost immediately after my marathon training. I'm still currently kind of weaning off a cold and, you know, with cough medications and like painkillers and acetaminophen. All that whole, like, you know, that whole rabbit hole can definitely play an effect in it. But whether the shoe is responsible or plays a part in it in this particular case is kind of tricky. So that being said, like, at 350 plus miles, it's just my feeling with the shoe that it's starting to reach the end of life much sooner than I thought it was going to. I was hoping it would probably reach the 400 plus mile mark, similar to the Pegasus 37 last year when I was using it. But at this stage, I may have to retire it sooner than later. Again, completely contingent to when this peroneal tendon recovers and I can start running. If I can lace up in this shoe and it still feels good, or if the peroneal tendon stuff like comes back, then we kind of assess it from there. Now, that's not to say I don't like this shoe. I've loved this shoe and you guys have heard it. It's definitely in my top 3 daily trainers like of all time for sure. But the concern here, obviously, is that if this pair is pretty much dead, then I need to buy myself a new pair ASAP because I really love the training in this shoe. So that's kind of the concerns here. So I wish I can give a slightly better assessment as to how I'm 100% feeling about this shoe right now. But like, you can look at the wear and tear yourself and like make the judgment call yourself. Like, do you think this shoe has the exact same support it would have had when I had it day one? Probably not. If you're already dealing with some kind of minor injury and you're looking at this shoe, could you make an honest guess if this particular shoe could have played a role in it? You could. Granted, there's like a million other circumstances to consider, but you could look at this and go, all right, maybe this has something to do with it. So all in all, the shoe at this point in time has been really awesome to me. I've loved running in this thing every single day. It's been consistent. It's been concise. Up to this particular point where now I'm starting to ask some questions about the lifespan of the shoe and its support abilities and how I can deal with it moving forward. If it's time for the replacement shoe, if it's time to, you know, take a little bit of a break from running to let this tendon heal and maybe the shoe can still go. There's a lot of questions that are still unanswered right now. So, I mean, again, at 350 plus miles, you make the assessment yourself if this is a shoe that's still runnable at this point in time. But I'm going to leave this here. So, again, if you have a similar experience with the Mach 4 in terms of wear and tear that looks like this, leave it in the comments below. Let me know how you're feeling. If you're still running in the shoe despite it looking like this, or something a little bit easier like my left foot, which looks something like this, you know, just let me know how you're feeling with it. If you've got some cool experiences with shoes that traumatize you and you haven't run in a particular pair of shoes because of that traumatic experience, whether it was like you got an injury or something, or you were just on a particular run that you never want to do again and you had that particular pair of shoes, you know, also let me know in the comments below, and please like the video as well. So, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.